everyone. Listen, I am super excited that you decided to take charge of your life, make that very courageous step, and join Defeat to Victory 8-week coaching program. You have no idea how this is going to change your life. And I promise you that you are going to see and notice and realize and recognize many things that you never did before. And it's because of a fresh perspective that I'm able to give you because I'm on the outside of your situation. I'm not on the inside, and I'm not dealing with all of your situations on a regular basis. So when you are on the outside, you have the opportunity to give a fresh, objective perspective. And I can tell you what has worked for me. All of the things that I do on a regular basis that keeps me in a victory mindset and keeps my life flowing with passion and prosperity and abundance in all areas of my life and my relationships and my finances, in every area. I'm just a happy person now. I am passionate about what I do and helping women transform their lives. I'm passionate about just getting up every day and starting a new fresh day to see what God has in store, what surprises are in store. So that's what I want for you. And so I want to get started and get you on the right track. I want you to remember that you have full access to me via email and via our Facebook group that I will be sharing with you. I'm going to give you access, or if I have not already, give you access to our Facebook group. And in our Facebook group, which is so great, we have such a great community of women who have joined this program. And so not only do you have full access to me, but you have access to build community with each other and help each other and glean from each other. And so that is a powerful, powerful thing. Community is so important, and we really don't realize it until we actually join a community and we have a group of people that are able to help us. And you may be going through something that someone in that group is going through, or you may have gone through already and conquered, and they need your assistance. And so not only do you have full access to me every day in that group, but you will have full access to them too. And so that's really encouraging, and that's really helpful. And so I want to dive right in. This is going to be about 45 minutes, so it's not anything crazy, but it's going to be chock full of so much information that hopefully you will be able to apply, and you will start seeing changes today in your life. You can start seeing changes immediately today, because I will tell you this, we're going to start with mindset over the next several weeks in different areas. And mindset is everything. It's just about everything, because whatever you think, it is a reality. So if you think you're amazing, you are so amazing. If you think that you're horrible and unqualified and not good enough, that's what your reality is. And so it's really important to have the right mindset going in your life and moving forward in your life. And so the first thing I want to share with you is that what our mind is like a garden. And so throughout our lives, from very young, we have had things planted into our garden. And these are now I call them our weeds. These are limited beliefs, disappointments, ways of thinking, maybe the way people have spoken to you, tear downs and digs, and things that have made you feel bad about yourself, hurts, unmet expectations. All of these things throughout all of your years have been building up in that garden, and they have been growing. And you know that if you've planted anything in your life, even if it was one little vegetable or one little flower, you know that it takes a bit longer for the actual thing that you want to plant to grow and to go through the germinating process and popping through the little greens and then actually blooming into a flower. You know that it takes longer for that to happen than for the weeds to start growing around it and choking it out. If you don't pull the weeds, you start choking it out. And that's what happens when we finally get a revelation that there's a better way. we start sowing good seeds into our garden, our mind, because the Bible says, to renew your mind. And so we start sowing good seeds in there, and we're speaking the word of God, or we're speaking good things over ourselves, and we're wondering why nothing is changing. And I'm going to tell you, it's because you still have all of your weeds from your entire life. You have all of your disappointments. You have all of your unmet expectations. You have all of the things that people have done to you and spoken over you. And even just beliefs that other people have done. Let's just think about your parents. If you had a dysfunctional home life, and your parents had maybe one of your parents drank and the other parent was abusive, or you didn't grow up with money, and so you had a belief that you're not supposed to have money, or lack is the only way to live. Or you thought you grew up experiencing and witnessing a relationship where, your mom accepted the physical or verbal abuse that she received from your dad, then you have a belief that that's the way it's supposed to be. Or, your parents, you hear them arguing over money, and you hear them say, well, we can't afford that. We can't afford that. We can't afford that. So you think you can't afford anything. Think about this. This is a good example. If you fall down when you're a baby, maybe a year old, you're just learning to walk, and you fall down, and your mom says, yay, big boy, big girl, oh my goodness, you broke the floor, you put a hole in the floor, let's go see how big it is, oh my gosh, it's crazy, yay. Well, then when this child continues to fall, every time the child continues to fall, the child will get up and say, yay, that's what's supposed to happen. If your child falls and the child falls and a mom witnesses it and says, oh my God, you fell, are you okay? And then your child starts crying. Well, then every time your child falls, they're going to think, I'm supposed to cry. So the limited belief that the mom put on the child is because of her own fear and her own thoughts that, oh my God, my child got hurt. So from then on, the child thinks every time I fall, I'm supposed to cry. And I remember when my children were little, my mom used to say, oh, you put a hole in the floor. Let's go see how big it is. And then they would run over and they would look and they would say, wait, I don't see a hole in the floor. And I would say, yay, you did it. Woohoo. And then, so that they didn't cry every time they fell unless they really got hurt. So they understood that, it was okay to get up. And a lot of times they would say, I'm okay. They would jump up and say, I'm okay. Because that's what they were taught. They were taught that they were supposed to be happy after they fell. I know it's kind of a little crazy, but that's how these disappointments, that's how these limited beliefs happen. You witness it. Think about a spider. The mom sees a spider and she screams bloody murder. And so every time a child sees a spider, they're going to think they're supposed to scream bloody murder. But if you got a spider and said, oh, let me put it on my hand, look how cute he is, they would think that, that's okay. My younger son wanted to bring every insect and every animal into the house like we were their parents, He wanted to nurture and parent every single, thing from the outdoors. It was crazy when he was little. He thought it was wonderful. And then he would make mud pies and have them, live in the mud pies. It was crazy. But all I'm saying is these are things we witness and teach our children, and we don't even realize it. Well, that's what happened to you. That's what happened to you. You were taught things and you didn't even know it. Not by someone just saying to you, this is how you're supposed to act. It was just by witnessing it. And as a young child, your mind is like a sponge. You learn everything. And so through growing up through repetition, you learned all the things that you're living right now. Whether someone did something to you horribly, whether you made poor decisions and did something that you regret and are shamed about, whatever it is, I want you to understand that it's okay, because now we are going to take hold of them and we're going to release them and let go of them so they never haunt you again. And so then we're going to sow the good things, the expansive beliefs, the beliefs that God wants you to have, that you are worthy of, and that you can have in your life. And so that is the point of week 1 of this 8-week coaching program. And let me tell you, you will be transformed. You will. I promise you that. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a list, and this is going to be something that is going to be, it could be quite difficult. And I don't want to put that on you as a limited belief, but it could be quite difficult because I really want you to get radically and brutally honest and make a list of every disappointment, every expectation that was unmet, everything that someone has done to you or someone has taught you without them or you even realizing it, every bad decision you made that you regret, everything that someone has done to make you feel inferior, every single thing that has brought you to this place, that has haunted you all of your life, everything, every disappointment, I want you to write it down. And don't worry, no one's going to read it because when we're through, you can burn it. It doesn't matter. No one has to read it. I want you to write it down, and I want you to be honest and detailed as much as you can, okay? And this could take several days. This could take several days. So you'll have to pause this video and come back because this could take a very, very long time. But it's okay. It is okay because you are going to be free from this. So I want you to think about any time maybe you were bullied in school, or you had a teacher who bullied you, or a teacher who said something to you that made you feel bad about yourself. A parent, a friend, a cousin, a lover, anyone that has done anything to you that hurts you today, or maybe a trigger happens and you think about it today and makes you like get knots in your stomach, or you feel bad about yourself, or you feel like angry to them, where you feel angry toward them, where you feel like you want to kill them or strangle them, because I've been there. And I really want you to think hard. I want you to go deep. I want you to go deep and be brutally honest. This is for no one but you. I will never read it. No one will ever read it but you. And so write it down in detail. In detail, like major detail. How did it make you feel? Go deep, girl, go deep. And I want you to be brutally honest. You're not faking to anyone. You're not putting a facade on for anyone. This is so you can be totally and completely free. Free. Because once we do this, and once we do this quick little exercise, I'm telling you, you will be free. You will be totally free. And so pause the video. Pause the video and go. And whether it takes a couple days or not, it could take an hour. Get into a quiet place. Close your eyes and think of every single thing that has ever hurt you in your entire life. Anything at all, or anything that someone has taught you that now you know that was crap. That was just crap. I can't believe they taught me that. Any anger you have, write it all down in detail. Pause the video and do that. And then when we come back, we're going to go to the next step. Okay? Go ahead. Good luck. Okay, welcome back. I hope that your list is long, because the longer it is, the freer you're going to be. And you know what? Don't worry, because if something comes up in the future that you haven't thought of, you could do this quick little exercise anytime. So let's just say you wrote down this whole list. It's taken you days to do it. And you're writing all this stuff down and you think it's exhaustive. You think it's completely exhaustive and you've gone to the ends of the earth to think of everything. If you still have something that comes up in a few days or a few weeks, it's okay. Then you can just acknowledge it and do this quick little exercise. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. And I want you to make sure you went deep. Because when you go deep, that means that God can rebuild. Break it down. Go deep. Because when you do that and you break it down completely and go so deep, God can rebuild from there. And that's what we're going to do. So once you have done that, we are going to take a moment and read through them again. Feel it. feel the pain, feel the hurt, feel the anger, feel the disappointment, feel the unmet expectation, read through it again, and then we are going to say this. And listen, I know, don't think this is minimizing anything that you've been through, because we have all been through something. And you know what? It can be really hard. I've been through things too. I've been hurt. I've been abused. I understand that if you've been through something and it is so painful, whether it's adultery or whatever it is, it could be so painful. Let me tell you this. You will be totally free just by doing this. I accept it. I accept that it happened, because I don't want to resist anymore something that I cannot change. Okay? So I accept that this took place. And I send love and forgiveness to every person who was a part of my hurt and pain. I send love and forgiveness to them. I send that now. And listen, even if you don't feel it, do it, because you have to fake it till you make it. Do it. Send it. I send love and forgiveness. And I forgive myself for any part that I had in any of these things, every poor decision that I've made, anything that has brought me to the place where I am right now that makes me unhappy. I forgive myself. So you identify, you accept that it happened. It was horrible. Some of it was just horrible, but I accept that I cannot change it. I cannot change that. So I accept it. And I send love and forgiveness to the people who played a part in hurting me and bringing me to a place where I am right now of pain and hurt, or wherever I am. I send them love and forgiveness. And God, I forgive myself. I forgive myself for any part that I played. And listen, I have made very bad decisions in my life. I have made very bad decisions. So if you've made bad decisions and you feel shame, don't feel shame anymore, because you made the decision. You cannot change it, but you can forgive yourself. You can forgive anyone involved. And then here's the big part. We let it go. Let it go off into the cosmos, into the universe. It's gone. Let it go. You cannot change it. There is no reason any longer to resist or feel pain or drudge up anything that you cannot change. It has happened. It is over. What you can do is change now. You can do is prevent anything like that from happening to you again, because you're a different person now. Just from this moment, you are a different person than you were when you turned on this video. So that is the key. You identify, write this down. You identify the disappointment. You accept it, that it happened. It doesn't mean you say, okay, this person hurt me, committed adultery, molested me, whatever, and that's okay. No, it's not okay. But you accept that it happened and you can't change it. You can. There's nothing you can do to change it. So you accept that it happened. So you identify. You accept it. You forgive. Send love and forgiveness to anyone involved. You forgive yourself and you let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Say goodbye. Let it go. Let it go. Gone. You're free. Your garden is clear of every weed, and now it is going to be prepared for massive abundance, because now what we're going to do is we are going to plant all good stuff that will produce all good stuff in your life. Okay? That is the plan. So we took care of step one. You did it, and I'm proud of you, because it's hard. It's hard to go back to these feelings and to hurt and to cry, to feel the knots in your stomach, to be gripped with fear. I know what it's like. I have been there, my friend. I have been there. I have so been there. But I will tell you that once you stop resisting and stop reliving these past things and stop living like these things are true now, once you stop and you are able to let go, you are a free woman, and we can start over. Every day is a new day. So we're going to start fresh today. So now we got through step one. We've identified, we've accepted, we have sent love and forgiveness. We have forgiven ourselves, and now we have let go. We have let go of all the past. The past is over. You can move on now. Here we go. We're going to move on. So the first thing we're going to do to move on is we're going to identify the areas of your life that you're not happy with right now. And if it's your relationship, if it's your finances, if it's your career, whatever it is, I want you to identify, and you need your paper and pen again. I want you to identify the areas of your life that you are not happy with. Whether you are unhappy with something you have or you are lacking something that you want. Identify it, whether it's money, whether it's a job, whether it's a companion, a future husband, whatever it is, I want you to identify it and write it down. Now, everything that we do, we are conscious creators, right? So we create our life by our thoughts, by our words, and by our actions. So having said that, whether we like it or not, or whether we realize we're doing it or not, that is what we have created. We've created our own life. And so it's very, very important to identify the areas you don't like in your life and then ask yourself the magic question. What do I have to believe to have attracted that situation in my life? That's the magic question. Write it down. What do I have to believe to have attracted that in my life right now? Why do I have no money? Why am I living in lack? Why am I in a bad relationship? What do I have to believe about myself that I'm in a relationship where someone doesn't treasure me and cherish me and treat me like a queen? Why? What do I have to think and believe for me to be in this relationship and to have attracted a man like that in my life? What do I have to believe? That is the magic question. So when you come across something in your life and you realize, I'm not satisfied with this in my life, that's the question you ask yourself. What do I have to believe in order to have that in my life? Why did I attract that in my life? So it can be what you believe about yourself. It could be, what you believe about money or relationships in general. Do you believe that you're supposed to be in a relationship where you cater to a man and he treats you like garbage? Do you believe that's okay because maybe that's what your parents did and there was no respect in their relationship? Well, I'm here to tell you that if that's what you believe, you are incorrect. You are a masterpiece that God created to be treated like a queen. So if you do not have a king, worthy king in your relationship, no, that's not where you should be right now. So we'll get further in that later. But I'm just here to tell you that the magic question of what do I have to believe to have attracted that is ideal and it is perfect and it is vital for you to ask that question to yourself. Why are you in this situation? It's because of something that you believed. So what is it that you have to believe in order to be in the situation you're in? Now, let me give you some examples. I'm in a relationship that my, boyfriend or husband physically abuses me, and that makes me unhappy. What do I need to believe to have attracted that relationship to myself, to have attracted that man who would treat me like that? Number one, that is all I'm worthy of. I'm only worthy of someone to treat me like that. Number two, I can't get anybody else. That's all I can get. Number three, I'm not good enough for someone to treat me like a queen or a princess. I'm not good enough because I've made a lot of mistakes in my life and I'm damaged goods. Those are just a few. If any of that hits home with you, you better write that down. Write down what it is you think about yourself to have attracted that man and that relationship. Let me relate this to money. Normally it's like one of two things going on in our life. A relationship, whether it be a family member, a friend, or a romantic relationship, or money and lack of money. So if you're in an area where if you're in a situation where you don't have money and you never have money and you're always, you always have more month at the end of your money, or you don't have a job and you're in debt and your bank accounts are overdrawn, and what do you have to think about money? That you have attracted lack and not abundance. Were you taught that you have to work hard for money? And so now that you don't have a job, there's no other way to make money. Have you thought that money can only come from a job? And so now that you don't have one, you can't make any money. Do you believe that it's hard to make money? It's really hard. Making money is hard. Do you believe that you're not supposed to have money? That people who have money are bad, greedy people. Is that what you believe? I mean, it could be many things. What is it that you believe? Write it down. Write down every belief that is attached to an area of your life that you do not like. And you can do one area at a time. You may be a person like I was, that every area of my life was falling apart. Every area of my life. I loved when I used to hear preachers on TV and they would talk about money, and then they would talk about relationships, and they would talk about this, and I'm like, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. How about we just encompass it to everything all at once, because every area of my life is falling apart and I'm so tired of it and I want to give up. That's where I was. And so if that's the case, identify each area that you are affected by and you're not happy with, and then write what you feel like you believed all this time about it that brought you to this place. Now, once you do that, we get to create a new belief, because we cleared out all of the weeds in the garden. And now we get to plant good flowers in there, and they will germinate and they will grow. So now that you can pause the video and go sit and think, and it may take a day or two. Sit and think of all the things that you have believed about each area of your life that you're not happy with. What do I have to believe to have attracted that situation? Think about it. Pray on it. Really sit in a quiet place and say, what do I believe about this? And write it down. And listen, don't forget, we are going to have Q&A calls every Wednesday night. And you have full access to me every single day in the group. So if you have questions, you need clarity, you ask me those questions. You message me or put it in the group, and I am happy to go deeper. I am happy to put a video up if it's before Wednesday. I'm happy to type it up, whatever it is, to help you and guide you through any specifics that you need. This is just to get you going and started. Okay, so pause the video and go take a day or two, or however long you need, to think about what beliefs you have to believe in order to bring you where you are today in your situation that you don't like and you're unsatisfied with and you're sick and tired of putting up with. Okay, so pause the video and I'll see you in a few. Welcome back. Okay, so here's the last part of this video, week 1, because you have a lot of work to do throughout the week, and until we get to week 2, which is going to be really great too. So now, once you figure out what you believe, now we are going to change your beliefs. So you are going to create 10 beliefs. You can, if you have several areas, like I love when people say, oh yeah, think of 10 beliefs about this situation. I'm like, well, I told you already, all my life is falling apart. So I'm going to have like 59 beliefs because everything is falling apart. So if you need just 2 or 3 for each area, go ahead and do it. But if you're working on just one area, then feel free to have, 8 to 10 full beliefs. Now, here's a belief. I told you before. You believe that you are not good enough or worthy to have a man that is successful, that is self-sufficient, that is rich or a millionaire. I'm not worthy of him to love me and take good care of my emotions and my heart. I am not worth that because of all things that I've done in the past, right? So that's what you believe. Well, then what you need to say is think of the type of man that you want in your life. Now, I'm not saying divorce your man. All right. I'm not saying that, because you're married under God in a covenant. And so there are other ways to change that. There are other ways to do that. And one way is, if you're married and you're struggling in your relationship, I want you to watch the movie War Room, watch the movie Fireproof, and get the book The Love Dare from the makers of Fireproof, and start doing that 40-day challenge on your husband. And pray, because you can't change him, but you can change you. And so there are a lot of things that you can do to show this man that you're married to that you are worth more than what he's been treating you like. So there are different things that you can do, and we can get deeper and further into that, so on the side. But if you believe that you're not worthy of that, then you need to change the belief that I deserve a good man to treat me right, to treat me with respect. I deserve a man to treat me with love and affection, and that I am his number one priority after God. So you are not any longer going to put up with abuse, right? So you have to change your belief first. You have to believe that you're worth more than that. You have to believe that you deserve to be treated so right and so respected and so loved, not like, a punching bag, or not like you're worth nothing and that you're nothing without this man. I mean, I remember I was in a relationship where I was told that, I'm not worth anything if I'm not with him. I'm never going to make it. Guess what? We've been separated for 16 years since my younger son was 3 weeks old, and I am doing great. So he is in la la land to think that I can't do it without him. So all I'm saying is, I remember being in that relationship, that type of relationship, and it's really their problem. The men, they're putting their issues, their problems on you because they think they can. And so now it's time for you to change your belief. You're worth more than that. You are worth so much more than that. So you need to change your belief and create a new expansive belief that says, I am worth and deserve being treated like a queen, being treated with respect, being treated as I am important and the number one priority of my husband or boyfriend. And if you're not married, you could just dump him. I'm just saying. You don't deserve it. Get rid of him. If it's about money, money is not hard to make, right? So don't say that. Say, money comes easily and frequently to me. I have more than enough money for all my bills and everything I want. Start creating beliefs of what you want. Money is not hard to make. Money is easy to make. You can make money with ease, effortlessly. It can happen. That's what God said. Jesus said, my burden is light. So if his burden is light, why would he want you to work hard? He doesn't want you to work hard. He wants you to be light and with ease and effortless. And how can you fulfill your purpose if